Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Daily Lessons. It's Yusha, of course, your host. And this is going to be episode number 2 of our podcast, so let's get into it. Today I wanted to talk about how exactly you should deal with whenever somebody hurts you or somebody does you wrong. Obviously, this is something that I feel like everybody can really relate to. I mean, if you can't relate to it, number one, you're either the asshole that's hurting everybody, or number two, you're just living under a rock because interacting with society, interacting with other people, you just always have that risk of getting hurt, which is, I think, everybody should always take that risk. And the upside to that risk is immense because 9 times out of 10, people won't hurt you, but that one time when people do hurt you, it does cause a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, or just pain in general. Now, the lesson in this is, and look, my source that I kind of learned this from a couple of years ago is Will Smith, actually. Now, I know what you're thinking, that man has absolutely nothing good to say anymore because of the recent controversies that he's been involved with. But regardless, this was all before that. And you cannot really just downplay that the man knows what he's talking about. He's one of the greatest actors of our generation, or, of the generation that he's at least a part of. I watched one of his videos one day on Instagram, and he said, it's not your fault if somebody hurts you, right? It's not your fault if somebody breaks your heart, if you have to go through an immense amount of pain because of them. But it is your responsibility. Now, when I heard this, it really did catch my attention because I feel like a lot of people, they always want to point fingers and they want to point blame. Like, how could you do this to me? How could you hurt me like this? Like, I trusted you. I did this. I did that for you. Blah, blah, blah. Whether it be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your best friends even. It doesn't matter what relationship that you have with another person. As soon as they hurt you, there's obviously a lot of hurt, a lot of trauma, a lot of anxiety, a lot of pain, and obviously a breach of trust. All that is there. All that is a given. Now, what a lot of people do tend to focus on is that, like, this person did that to me. And at a certain point, people are going to sympathize for you. They're going to sympathize with you, excuse me. But at some point, you also kind of just have to get up and you kind of just have to stop pointing the finger at them. And I'm not saying that you need to take the blame, because you might just not be the party at fault, right? But at the same time, you need to stop pointing the finger, and you need to start actually just taking responsibility for your actions. Now, what I mean when I say that you need to take your responsibility, I literally just mean you need to take responsibility for your own mental health, for your own emotional health, and your own just overall general well-being as well. The way that you can do this is obviously, number one, you need to stop just pointing the finger at them. They did what they already needed to do. They did what they wanted, okay? They broke your heart. They broke your trust. They did every single thing that was potentially possible for them, right? They're an evil person. Oh, wow. Okay, so what now? Are you just going to sit back and just complain about that evil person? Or are you actually going to, do something about it? Like, what are you gaining out of being so miserable? Are you gaining anything from these constant conversations that you've been having about the other person for about, 3 months now? It's like, people are eventually going to stop caring as well. Like, people are always going to be like, oh man, this guy's still bitter about, like, the girlfriend that left him in, like, freshman year of high school, and he's 25 years old now. Like, bro, what are you doing? Move on with your life, right? Nobody cares anymore. You accept responsibility by understanding that nobody else can fix your problems except for yourself. Okay? And nobody else cares enough about your problems except for you either. So it is your responsibility. It is your inherent right. It is your inherent responsibility that you become the best version and you just get over whatever you're going through at the moment. Okay? And you need to, it's just your responsibility, and you need to go with that attitude, and you need to make sure that you're making the most out of your life from that. Think about this, right? There's been a lot of bad things that have happened to better people than you and I. It's just the way it is, right? You can open history books and you can look at, any country that you're from, right? You can look at the US, you can look at Pakistan. That's the original country that I'm from. You can look at, really any region of the world. You can look at Europe. You can look at, the Middle East. You can look at Africa, the entire continent of Africa. There's been a lot of things that happen to these people, and it's not their fault. But why do they keep on going? It's because it's their damn responsibility that they need to keep on going. They need to keep on living. Just because you don't feel the immense pressure of hunger, of not having shelter, doesn't mean that you don't have the inherent responsibility over yourself to keep on going. You have to stop blaming everybody else for your problems, right? It might just be their fault. All right, cool. But what are you gaining out of just constantly blaming other people for your problems? You are left heartbroken. You are left in pieces, right? Blaming somebody else for your problems isn't making you feel better. You've already tried it. You've been trying it for months now. Sometimes even years. Sometimes people have tried it for decades and it doesn't work. It doesn't help them. So obviously there's something broken in that process. So why don't you just try something new either way? Why don't you just say to yourself, like, look, this person really hurt me, but they're gone now. They're out of my life, thankfully. Whatever problem I was having, the problem's not there anymore. Now I need to fix my head and I need to fix my heart. All right, cool. Let me take responsibility for that. How can you do this? That's up to you, right? We can discuss that on a later episode as well. But some of the just key things that have helped me. Number one, exercise, of course. If you need to talk to your boys, go talk to your friends, talk to your family. If you need professional help, obviously seek therapy. Don't use it as a crutch though, which I'll get later on. Maybe I'll get canceled for that opinion. Even though I have discussed it in one of my videos with a friend that I had posted before. But yeah, moral lesson of the day, or the daily lesson, is it might just be somebody else's fault that you're sad today, but it definitely is your responsibility to pick up all the pieces, and you need to keep on going. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way that the world is. There's some harsh truths that if everybody just learns, they'll just be inherently happier. And if not happier, they'll at least understand, like, okay, cool, this is happening. It's all good. It happens to everybody. And trust me when I say this, if you're suffering because of somebody else, you're not alone. There's multiple people that I know out there that are suffering because of somebody else, whether it be, childhood trauma from their parents, whether it be, somebody breaking their heart in high school, whether it be just one of their best friends, betraying them. We've all been there. We all understand, and you'll get through it. But to get through it, you need to first go ahead and actually accept some responsibility. And by the way, another responsibility that you have is hitting that like button and making sure you hit subscribe as well if you enjoy something like this. Make sure you go on YouTube and do it. Obviously, if you're listening on Spotify, please go on my YouTube channel and do that as well. That's all that I really ask of you, please. And this was episode 2. I hope that you guys actually enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one. All right, guys, this is Yusha signing out. Peace out, guys.